Test, test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Learn, Plan, Profit. Hope you guys are all having a great day. There's actually a very funny comment that I just read right now. I said, I'm really sorry for the delays. Like, oh, I know you're a busy guy. There's absolutely no excuse for what happened today. I definitely fell asleep way too late, and I slept in. So I do apologize for the inconvenience. So we're still about 17 minutes away from the natural gas report at 7:30, so about 1 hour after the market opens. So hopefully you guys are all having a great start to your morning. I do see that I was watching it already, and it's something that I talked about last night for those that were able to watch me live. For DGAS itself, we talked about the potential reversal and potential consolidation for /NG, and how it made sense that, that /NG was showing signs of a lot of consolidation. I set alerts on both sides, and obviously it ended up showing signs of an overall reversal. JDST just absolutely killed it. So I got a couple alerts overnight. I really struggled to fall asleep last night, and I didn't fall asleep till 3:30 or something like that. So again, nothing crazy, but I woke up at 6:15 because I think that's when I set my alarm. And guys, I just knacked and continue to fall asleep. So I do apologize for the inconvenience on that. So I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. Let me open this. Hey, what's going on, William? Hey, Thick Rick. What's up? What's up? So TNDM was doing pretty well with consolidation, but there was something that I was able to notice right away that it wasn't making higher highs or anything like that. It's kind of just validating its support that it has right around $45, and it's not making any higher highs. Yesterday, it had an overall support at around that $45 price point. So let's see. Did you brush your teeth though? Of course. Brush my teeth every night before I go to bed. You guys cracked me up. So overall, JDST is still showing signs of an uptrend pattern, up over 7% on the day. The very beautiful thing about how it's performing in my eyes is that it's doing a really good job bouncing in between the middle and top VWAP. Obviously, it's showing signs of it being a little bit more on the overextended side. So just something that we want to take into consideration, right? It makes sense on why it might struggle to hit highs of $85 normally here, and potentially here. It's a specific area or price range and where it becomes a little bit more on the overextended side. So just something to take into consideration before taking or holding a position with where JDST currently stands. As right now, there's no signs of an overall reversal for DGAS intraday. It's trading between the middle and bottom VWAP, so it's showing signs of a downtrend pattern. So it's DGAS, the one that's showing signs of a bullish pattern today. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm glad you liked it, Chase. Justin got really upset that I uploaded that. He actually did not get beat by that car. I don't think it was even going fast, but it was just for fun. So I don't think he gets that. Yep, don't forget the natural gas report. Yeah, so the natural gas report is in 13 minutes. So I'm really happy that I was able to, if I missed that, I truly would have felt, I still let you guys down with not waking up in time, but I truly would have felt like I really let you guys down altogether. Ticker symbol now, again, obviously showing signs of consolidation for a potential support right around this 195 area. Yes, it is a little bit below 195, but it's trying to see if it could identify its overall support. This is kind of where it found its support yesterday. Again, overall resistance right around 200. So a lot of consolidation around this general area. Are we going to get a bounce or are we going to get rejected? And that's just something that we have to be patient. And again, I have my alert set up here. I'll set an alert, let's see, right here. But overall, with the RSI pointing down, the MACD pointing down, and showing signs of a peak formation, it makes sense on why it would end up getting rejected and pull back down to the SMA indicator. Here we go. Let's see. So I'm just going to set my alert there. Is there anything that is currently actively trending up that's not something that we're already watching? So obviously JDST is showing signs of an uptrend. Obviously you guys are showing signs of an uptrend. What was it that I got my alert on? /SI had a pretty aggressive sell-off, which means that LABD should be doing pretty well, right? Or no, this one's showing some of a recovery, so LABU. No, this one's, let's see. So the one, I didn't really talk about this one yesterday, but overall LABU showing signs of a potential resistance right around this SMA indicator. So this is just something that we want to take into consideration, that this SMA is acting as a resistance. We could see here and here where it's really consolidating around this general area, and then it continues to get sent back. So just something that we want to consider. So TN, the just broke below. Okay, so yeah, I do see that the MACD is pulling back, the RSI is pulling back a little bit. So on the 1 day, 1 minute chart, it is trying to show signs of a recovery. So we'll see if it continues to get rejected again. It was just doing a lot of consolidation, really not moving up. So I probably should have just locked in profits. But we'll see how it ends up performing as of now. Let's go to Elias. I did see this one, FNKO. So there was someone that called this one out yesterday very quickly. I still didn't really see signs of a full uptrend pattern. I did see signs of a potential reversal. A lot of consolidation right around this SMA indicator. It just hasn't been making like really aggressive higher highs. Today has to be one of the top days, especially with its pre-market highs. So I would just keep a very close eye, making sure that if you do end up taking a position, that it continues this pattern where this overall EMA indicator continues to act as a support, and so does the SMA as well. But yeah, I definitely do like the overall pattern. I'm just going to set my alert just for a little bit more of a confirmation, and then we could set an overall resistance wherever it is that you feel comfortable, 26, 28, or 30, whatever suits you. CATO. Okay, CATO, I set my alert for the break above $22. It just looks a little bit on the overextended side. It would be due for a pullback, and based on previous patterns, it looks like why it can get rejected around that general area. So. Okay, let's see. Yep, okay. So I even see a slight resistance right around this general area of 380. We can see that there was a lot of consolidation, that this was a previous support. Do you guys see this? I know we covered in the course, but old support levels, right? Old support levels right here act as new resistance levels. Now it's showing signs of the SMA showing signs of a support, so it's pushing up a little bit more aggressively. Watch out for the earnings report, but yes, I definitely do see signs of this thing potentially still being able to move up with the overall resistance right around 400 to about 420 based on previous patterns. So there we go. I think I already have my alert set there. Yeah, I like that. ASNA. Okay, so ASNA, just showing signs of this thing being a little bit more on the overbought side. Wouldn't you guys agree? Definitely a little bit more on the overextended side, not so much of a good deal. And it makes sense on why it would be due for a pullback before it continues to continue to uptrend. So just a little bit more on the overbought side, more than I would feel comfortable taking a position and holding. Looks like we might have gotten a rejection right around this EMA indicator, right? So let's see. All right, we got 8 minutes left until the natural gas report comes out. Yeah, CVNA with a slight little pullback. It makes sense. I mean, yesterday it pulled up very aggressively. And again, we talked about this yesterday in that live stream where we want to see it push up, we want to see it pull back, but again, not make lower lows and get closer to the SMA line. So we'll just have to follow up with it and see in which direction it's going to be pointing. So Chegg just broke below its support. Okay, CHGG. Here we go. TNDM pulling right back down to that $45 support, and it looks like we might be breaking it. Let's check it out. Let's see. Pretty aggressive sell-off the last report that it had, so let's check out the 20-day 1 hour. Okay, had a nice little push up. Hey Renee, I actually just looked at FNKO. We just did a quick little breakdown on it. If I'm not mistaken, 180-day chart. Yeah, showing signs of a potential reversal. Waiting a little bit more for a confirmation to make higher highs and to continue to show signs of this overall reversal. As right now, I wouldn't go with a full-on position. If adding more to my position makes sense, then yes. But as of right now, just to confirm and make sure that it's going to do a healthy reversal, I would be a little bit more, patient with the full-on position. All right, we got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. How many of you guys are in either DGAS or UGAS, or how many of you guys are not invested in either one of them right now? Okay. Just with my own experience, I find it to be less risky, right? To be in any of those actual positions, like before the actual, before the actual reports end up coming out. First of all, DES is showing signs of it being bearish on the day. Yesterday was extremely bullish. I was looking back at the natural gas reports to see, if there's a consistent pattern or something of that sort. Not one that I was able to identify. Again, just a friendly reminder that I personally don't like holding during a natural gas report. I'd rather buy after, just to be a little bit quicker on the reversal and stuff like that. So, yeah. Yep. I'd like to agree with you, Grim. Unless you know something that, or have identified a very consistent pattern, then yeah. But yeah, I like buying shortly after the natural gas report, which whenever one sells off, it usually tends to recover, especially if it's been bullish on the day. All right, we got 2 minutes left, about 2 to 3 minutes. Here we go. There it goes. Just broke below that $45 support, showing signs of a sell-off, and that sell-off is very aggressive. Like a rubber band. I like that. Here we go. Let's check it. All right. Here we go. All right. Got 1 minute left. Alrighty, guys. Let's see. Good luck. There it goes. Huge sell-off. Looks like it's in favor of you guys. Pretty aggressive sell-off with DGAS and back below the support. Usually drops about 2%. Wow. That's a little bit more than 2%. So there we go. Back. It broke $18, and $18 was an overall support. There it goes. 4.28. Let's see. I'm going to sell my position here. Oh, shoot. Then you got the flex trade. Yeah. Sell my position here for this. Okay. And then I'm going to go over here on, come on, DGAS and buy. Let's see. Whoa. Similar. There we go. Let's see how this performs. Hey, what's going on, Renee? Thank you again for tuning in. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day, man. Up 130. $18. 260. Resistance at $18, obviously a lot of consolidation around that area. Okay, I'm just watching very closely, making sure that it's not pulling back. There we go. Pulling back. And there it goes, it's pulling back. Let's see. It ended up hitting lows that it was not at ever before, at least in the past. What is that? Oh no, 180 days it has, but it's been a while since it's hit this low. So definitely pulled back quite a bit. Let's see. There it goes. Now going back to the overall support. Let's see. Cut out at 192. I like it. Andrew, congrats. What was your entry on DGAS? It shows it right here, bud. My average price, the position, size, everything. So we're getting some consolidation right around 1780, and I don't expect this to bounce necessarily right away. I really like how it showed some signs of resistance around $18. It would have seemed. There's been some times where DGAS literally during the natural gas report sells off, and then all of a sudden just shoots right back up and continues through through its day, right? So with that, as of right now, it showed signs of a potential recovery, got rejected around $18 and started pulling back a little bit, consolidating around 1780. And even if it ends up coming back to, like, let's say the EMA indicator or, the middle VWAP and stuff like that, then it definitely still makes sense on, why this might be worth a either 1.5% day trade in my eyes or a 3% day trade in my eyes, right? If it's not worth it for you, then, that's the great thing about trading, is that you don't have to take positions if you don't see value in them. So there you go. I like the MACD indicator, how it's showing signs of a reversal potential. All right, I'm gonna close this out. I don't want to be able to see like how much I'm up. I don't want to trade based off of the dollar value. I want to trade based off of the pattern. I think that might have been something that might influence a lot of us, right? So TNDM again really consolidating around this area. So I'm just gonna set an alert for the reversal if it ends up reversing above $45, and even if it ends up getting rejected at 45.50. Not a huge margin, it's about 1.2%, but definitely still something for those that see that of value. Here we go. So I'm in at Diaz at 18.75, Don is at like 18.95. Okay. What is it that you traded, Bonehead? Because I wanna answer like while I'm doing this, I'm really just waiting for mine to reverse. I want to hear you guys out on like what you guys were trading, what you could have done better, like what you did that maybe wasn't the best. You guys should be at least somewhat aware, right, of what we could have probably done better. Okay, take a look at DUST. DUST follows the pattern of what's it called? Of JNUG, right? So it's showing signs of a descending pattern, had a really green day, so it follows the same pattern of like /GC, right? Yes, so Chase, like that makes sense on like, okay, why people are like, okay, well, like I talked about JDST yesterday, right? JDST was showing signs of an uptrend on the 180-day chart. My biggest thing that I found the least attractive about JDST is the overall pattern of it making like lower highs. And when I identified this specific pattern, and I went here on the 180-day chart, and before this strong push, there was this like pattern where it pushed up, sold off, couldn't make higher highs, sold off, and I thought that it couldn't make higher highs. It was just a precaution, right? That's why I didn't personally want to hold overnight. I mean, I was literally trading JDST less than 1 minute before the market closed. And I mean, I could sell it during extended hours, but the opportunity was definitely there to hold it. Obviously would have performed exceptionally well, but you don't know, right, what's going to happen. It was very overbought that day. It's the same thing with DGAS. If DGAS would have opened at $22, everyone would have been like, told you DGAS was showing signs of an uptrend. It's continued to trend up, and you can try to like justify it. Again, we're here to make sense of and play certain positions that not only make sense to us, but are also like realistic. And JDST was very overextended. It made sense on why it could pull back. Same thing with DGAS. Like it was very overextended and it made sense on why it could pull back. And obviously it pulled back for DGAS and it got rejected for, it continued to trend for JDST. So but yeah, I mean, I simply just wanted to, again, I wanted to play it a little bit safer with, where I was at. I felt like a lot of my day trades this week and last week did well just because I was trying to play it a little bit safer and focus less on what can happen. And anytime that something goes overbought, just to lock in profits and walk away. And we had a lot of people that, made a lot of money yesterday, but unfortunately, some of them gave it back. Right, and maybe they gave a little bit more back than they took. So yeah, sweet, sounds good, Chase. And I don't know if you guys remember, but it's something that I did cover in the Sunday Stock Talk, and it's something that I've been able to reiterate. I've been trying to reiterate a little bit more, right? So repeat and make sure that it sticks in our head until it becomes a habit for those that see value in it. But it's the idea that like stop trying to predict what's going to happen in the future. and just play with what you're given today, right? So if you see something that's a solid swing trade and showing signs of an uptrend, if you think DGAS is a solid swing trade, I mean, honestly, I think it's only a matter of time for DGAS to start reversing back up. So if time is not of the essence, right, and you're okay with holding it, it makes sense on why you might want to consider hold. I mean, natural gas is super overbought, and it's due for a pullback. It's only a matter of time, which means then that DGAS will push up, right? But as of right now, like it's in that consolidation phase. That's why yesterday in last night's video I said one day does not confirm a reversal. It takes time, and that's something that I think a little bit more experienced traders understand, because they're a little bit more patient and selective with what they choose to invest in. So in the very beginning of either when something is peaking out or showing signs of a potential reversal, there's a lot of consolidation. There's a lot of ups and downs, right? And you can definitely take advantage of those opportunities, but understand that until it starts making higher highs and pulling back and making higher lows, even at that point, but you could really start doing a lot better consistently and just walking away and locking in profits. So. We've been getting so many questions like this, like how do you prepare for a recession? Like, Ricky, like, are you going to talk about short selling and stuff like that? If you know how to perform a technical analysis and you know how to identify value of something that's actively trending up and you generally understand that, you'll generally understand how to perform a technical analysis for also stocks that are showing signs of a potential reversal, showing signs. I mean, we call out stocks when they're peaking out, right? Which means that we know when they're most likely going to pull back. So it's literally just then shorting them in that point where it would make sense. But altogether, again, it's just not something that I want to focus too much on when it's not something that's relevant right now. Like, yes, if there's a recession and then we start to see a lot of the companies that were showing signs of an uptrend start to pull back, then we'll be quick to cut losses and we can start trading those patterns. So it's just something that I think we could, as long as you are aware and refining yourself as a technical trader and understanding how we trade stocks as they're moving up, you should be able to do the same as they're moving down, right? Dancing camera, I appreciate it. Thank you. There's a lot of consolidation that's happening right now, right around 1790. I don't know if you guys see this, but you bought JDST at 176.50. What? It's at $82. Oh, you bought it at 76.50. Whoa. Check out TNDM. Do you guys see this? $76.50. Okay. I would lock in profits. The reason that I would lock in profits is, first of all, you've held longer than I already would have. I'm a little bit more conservative. That's my style. And again, what I would do is you do whatever it is that you want. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, but understanding that there's this like general resistance here, 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 and here. It this price point. So again, not focusing on the exact dollar value and every single penny that you can squeeze out of it, but focusing on just the general understanding that, hey, you bought in for a good deal and you're selling it for a good sell. That's what's important, and focus more on that than trying to squeeze out every single penny from it. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm going to sell my position here. I'm going to sell too early. I just know it. But, oh. I'm just going to lock it in. So 17.94. I know I sold too early. $156 profit. I know that's not that much. I know it's definitely showing signs of a potential uptrend. It's just showing a lot of rejection, right? It's like, okay, Ricky, well, this is like the worst time to sell. I want to give it a little bit more time to confirm the reversal and break above $18. Yes, I'm sacrificing 6 cents, but I want to get in when it's actively trending up and stuff like that. And one of my biggest mistakes yesterday was not walking away when there's an obvious indication of a resistance. So also TNDM is showing signs of a potential reversal, and TNDM owes me money. Just kidding. No stock owes me anything. Don't trade aggressively. I'm at 4.8. Where was it that I sold? I think I sold around this general area, right? I sold around this general area when it was descending. I think so. Right around 45. Haha. Dingleberry. Dang it. Oh, there it goes. And again, it's pushing up, showing signs of an uptrend. Great. Pushed up to highs of 810. There it goes. Just going to wait a little bit for a pullback. Again, I'm going to try to be patient. If it works out according to my plan, great. If not, then again, I'm just not going to stress it. I can put to buy, let's see. And again, I'm getting in when I see signs of an uptrend pattern, and that's what's important to me. So ooh. Look at the MACD for TNDM. It's definitely showing signs of it being a little bit more on the overbought side. So something we want to take into consideration. But yeah. Anthony, I mean, I don't want you to like Anthony, I don't know exactly how long that you've been trading, but trust me, like you at least invested in DGAS when it was super oversold. So it's only a matter of time for it to recover. Don't like shoot yourself in the foot for a very simple mistake, right? We got a little greedy. I got greedy yesterday as well, and it happens to us, and it's going to continue to happen to us. But one of the best things that we can do is definitely learn from it. So write down how you feel right now. Like, I don't know if this is too much, but write down how you feel, how upset that you went from being green, and I'm guessing very green, to maybe red, maybe very red, and how much better you would have felt, like regardless of how much more it would have gone up, how much better you would have felt that you locked in profits and that you made money investing in something that made sense to you, rather than, yes, you could have made a little bit more, but that's something that you can work on later. That's something that you can always continue to work on for the rest of your life. But as long as you continue to stay green, you will always be motivated to trade. But if you continue to make these little mistakes, then you can discourage yourself, right, to trade. So just a friendly little reminder that I know, again, it's a very common mistake. I don't want to say that it's something that only new traders make. I do it all the time, right? Can you tell me, Bonehead? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, you were trading DUST, right? Let's see. No, I'm not DOC. I just has down on TNDM 2% cut losses there and DGAS. Okay, two. So the biggest. So how are you down on? Okay. So for TNDM, obviously you saw that that was a little bit more on the overbought side, right? And the same thing with DGAS. I think one thing that based on my understanding is, or Bona, I don't know if you've done this with me already. I don't know what your username is within Discord. If I've talked to you, then please direct message me, and make sure that you highlight that it was you that commented that you took the 2 losses on those trades. Watch out, the MACD is peeking out and the RSI is pulling back. But one thing that I want to work on is that we plan out our trades together. It's something that I do with people that are just getting started within Learn, Plan, Profit. If you feel like we need to bring it down to the basics, and again, that I need to help you and stuff like that, I'm here to be utilized as a resource, right? I'm here to give you constructive criticism on what you do your hard work on. So to put into perspective, you are going to be dedicating time to perform a technical analysis to identify potential and all that good stuff, right? You verify your plan with me every single time before you take a position, and we plan it out together. It doesn't mean that you're going to trade based on my opinion. I just give you maybe my 2 cents on what I would do a little bit differently, or what I would look for, right? So with that being said, yesterday, if you would have told me, hey, I'm in DGAS, hey, just a friendly reminder, it's very overbought. And then also, you said that you were in TNDM. I talked about it yesterday, that although I was in TNDM, it was very overbought, right? And it made sense on why it was due for a potential pullback. So it's just something that I want to make sure that we take into consideration, that next time if you're really struggling to consistently stay green or to follow your rules, that I will hold you accountable for what it is that you do. And I hope that that's okay, right? I mean, that's why I think we're a part of this group and we're a part of this team. It's because we want to be held accountable for what we're doing right and also what we're doing wrong. So, yeah. Perfect. Sounds good. And again, it is going to take time. This is also another idea for those that might be struggling. It does take time for it to really sink and make sense of wow, I really need to stop making these mistakes and stuff like that. And while you're making these mistakes, because you know that you're probably going to continue to make them, maybe the dollar value that you're investing in should be a little bit less, or maybe you should focus on also paper trading, regardless of where you are at, right? With if you want a paper trade or if you want to trade with a lower dollar amount, I would just really encourage you to take that into consideration, that if you're really making very common mistakes and you're completely aware of them, that maybe it wouldn't be the worst idea to potentially either start paper trading or reduce the dollar value or the position size that you end up taking. So something that we can take into consideration. There it goes, TNDM with a push up. I missed out on this one, so I should have bought when I did the first pullback right around 4460. I wasn't watching it close enough, so my bad on that one, guys. Do apologize. I think I got a little distracted with just nonsense, but yeah. Watch out with the resistance around the middle VWAP. Don't be afraid to lock in profits. I think from when it actually started showing signs of a good buy, it's about 1.5, 1.6%. So yeah. All right. Yep. Stephanie, you're still green, and that's still definitely something that I don't know if you will learn from that lesson, since you did give back some of your profits, but you still stayed green. One of the worst feelings, again, in my eyes, is when you go from green, when you know that there's a resistance, you don't lock in profits, and then you go red, right? You could only get mad at yourself for what you're aware of. So if you see something and it's overbought and it makes sense to you on why it can be a good sell, but you hold due to FOMO or wanting to squeeze out every cent, then that's, I think, one of the most upsetting parts, when you're just like, wow, that was such a beginner mistake that I should have just locked in profits, right? And again, it's something that we'll all experience, that we'll all learn from. And whenever you guys are ready, we'll definitely knock it out. So I just don't want you guys to get discouraged and saying that like, oh my God, like I keep doing the same mistakes. Some of you guys have been trading for like 2-3 months. Even for those that have been trading for 8 months, it wasn't like 2-3 years down the road when things barely started to click on me, and I was still making the same mistake. But because of all that struggle, and because of that's why, and because of all those obstacles that I overcame, now I've had the opportunity where in some days that I have really good days, I can make $1,000 profit. Obviously my account is sitting at a little bit of a higher amount, but the biggest concept that I want to focus on is like just a reminder that like if you see that you're making a lot of these mistakes, especially when you're just getting started and you just know that they're starting to discourage you, just reduce the dollar value that you're investing. If you don't want to paper trade because you don't want to do that, that's fine, I don't care. But just reduce the dollar value that you're risking, because if you continue to lose a lot of money, you will get discouraged and you're just like, screw it, this isn't for me. But you know exactly what you're doing wrong. For all of those, based on my understanding, every person that I've had within Learn Plan Profit, and the amount of mistakes that they have made, for those that say that they quit or something like that, every person that I've personally been able to speak to that's reached out to me, the mistakes that they made are not ones that they don't understand, or they don't understand what they're doing wrong. They're aware that they're being too greedy. They're not locking in profits. They're trading lower cap stocks. They're trading stocks with descending patterns, something that we're all aware about that we probably should not do. And with that understanding, it's like, if you are aware of what you're doing wrong, but you still continue to make the same mistake, then that's your fault. And to not discourage yourself, I would say reduce the dollar value, to continue to make sure that you learn from it, if even it takes a couple months, but it doesn't at least discourage you with the dollar value that you're losing. Because if you start to lose hundreds of dollars, especially on a monthly basis, and you just continue to make the same mistake, it makes sense. You become emotional and you become irrational, and you are going to want to quit. But again, if the dollar value is not something that devastates you, if you're still learning through it, and you're not discouraging yourself, then I think that's what's most important. So, yeah. All right, I might have been in this live stream a little bit too long. So, yep, that's really it for today, guys. I'll keep you guys up to date on both my DGAS position, how I end up on the day altogether. I'm pretty much just going to be watching, I think, DGAS, TNDM, and I don't know if I'm going to be watching JDST just because it's super overbought. There's a very strong resistance right around $84. Yes, it can hit highs of 85, but also understanding that, is it worth the risk for that $1 profit, right? What is that, $1 profit for the marginal loss that it has to offer? I don't know if really worth the risk to me, so I'll definitely have to follow up with that. I really do appreciate. Yeah, still no wall art. So we've been buying a couple things around the house, just my room has not been top priority, and I do apologize for that. So thank you guys again so much for your time. I'll be catching up on direct messages, and again, if you want to talk to me, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. Please, if you guys can do me the biggest favor, again, it has to be under 150 characters. We've had people write us complete paragraphs through direct message, both Justin and I. We just want to remind you that we go through hundreds of messages, not only through Discord, but through Instagram, through email, and through Facebook. And if you want a very sufficient answer, just please keep it under 150 characters if that's not too much to ask. So really do appreciate you guys' time. Thank you guys again. Be sure to complete the course if you guys haven't done so already. And really looking forward to ending the week on a green note. Take it easy, team.